Wow, this Terrence Gangster Williams, aka OG Giggity. I'll tell y'all about a time when OGBoobieBlack kind of slick hated on me. I go to visit him. This right around the time I'm beefing with the tent wall. OGBoobieBlack father stayed 2 blocks outside the project on Annunciation Street up in an upstairs house. And I had a little female out the tent wall that I used to kick it with. So when I get to OGBoobieBlack house, this was back in the 90s now, so this not recent, y'all. So I'm over there, we hanging out, we kicking it, him and I, we just talking. This one he still had both his arms, actually. Yeah, this one he still had both his arms. So the girl I called the girl to come over. So she come over. Named Keisha out the tent wall, out the St. Thomas project. She come over to the house. So we all in the living room, just talking, kicking, just passing time. He leaves to go to the bathroom. So I tell her, come on, let's go in the room. So we go in the room. I lock the door. So I get her, pull her pants down. I'm humping her from the back. He come to the door, banging and grabbing and boom, 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 making all the noise on the door. I'm still trying to stroke her. So the girl like, is he trying to come in? I'm like, man, he can't get in here, girl. So she getting scared. So she like, oh, let's stop. So we stop. Right? So then we go to the bathroom, clean up, open the door, I come out. I'm talking to the girl. So I send her to go get me something to eat. Give her like about $20 to go get something to eat. She leave. So I'm telling Boo, man, why you did that, man? He said, man, he said the B word, the F word and all this other stuff. He always was wild like that. So we in there laughing and stuff. Now, while we in there just talking, just passing time, 20 minutes had been passed at this time. So I'm like, man, where the girl at? She ain't come back yet with my food. I walk out the house. I go around there on Magazine Street. I walk all the way to Magazine Street, but I go around the other way. I ain't want, because I'm beefing with the tent wall at this time. So I go around. I don't see this girl at the store she claimed she was going to. None of that. Calling her phone, she ain't answer. I'm like, man, I walk back to Boobie's father's house. I said, man, old girl ain't at the store where she said she was going to, and none of that. So we sitting down, called her phone, she finally answered. I said, girl, where you at? Where my food at? Girl, I'm hungry. She say, I ain't going to no store for you. Tell that B-word Boobie to go to the store for you. So she won't be all disrespectful and do all that stupid stuff. So she was ticked off with Boobie because he was checking and pulling on the door, cussing and what y'all doing and all the while, when I come outside the door, I could look through the peephole and I could look in the room. So he was spying on us, y'all. Yeah, he was in there looking at me hump the girl. So he was hating, jacking all on the door, making all that noise with the door. And the girl ran off with my money because she was ticked off that the act he pulled, she felt that was unnecessary. So I got beat out my little $20. Yeah. I wasn't mad with her, nothing. I was just like, wow, because me and her had been sneak kicking it for a little minute, you know what I'm saying? She out the tent ward, I had to be careful going back there because them boys wasn't playing back there, and we was beefing with them boys. And then plus I already had shot a guy at the tent ward around the club, hit him up about 10 times. So, I was already in dangerous waters at the time anyway. But we young, wild. We all felt like we gangsters, we ain't care. And that's how actually a few guys, one guy that was sure out the mouth was killed back there, because that's when the 3-1-10 war was beefing, and he had a girl back there, going back to see them boys, seeing them back there, and they crushed him. They felt like, you don't supposed to be back here, we at war, we don't care if you ain't got nothing to do with it or not, you're not from back here. They left him back there. He was out the Melphamine project, and that sparked, that Melf just went crazy when that happened. When Clifford Clifford Crawford, I believe, so that got killed in that tent war from out the Milford Project. That Melf went wild. The Melf was going through that tent war. The tent war was holding on too. But anyway, back to the story at hand. You know, my little girlfriend, man, Keisha, yeah, she had ran over them $20 because of Boobie. Now I should have told Boobie he owed me, but I let it go. You know, I kept it. You know, player. You know, he did the goofy stuff. She was ticked off. But at the end of the day, I had got me some. I ain't finished, but I had got me some. So I guess I paid for it, right? That's the more of that story. I paid for that. But her and I still had was cool, and I haven't spoken with her since I've been out of prison. But we had still maintained a hey, how you doing relationship. It was still pretty cool. You know, we didn't fall out behind a little $20, behind a little petty incident that happened, because I guess she looking at it too. You know, back then guys used to run in the room, try to run a train on girls, or take pictures of girl and be like, "Woman, show everybody," or "What happened to you in here?" You know, stuff like that. So I guess she looked at it like, ain't nothing bad happened to me, so, you know, no harm, no foul. You know, he just did that and that ticked her off. But other than that, you know, everything was fine. So, you know, later on that day, we hooked up. We went to Club Newton's. That's the club where Juvenile started out rapping at. No, not Club Newton. Big Man's on Louisiana. My bad. Big Man's on Louisiana That night we went there, and I caught LaDonna or Second and Danielle. No, that wasn't, man. That was the Club Detour. This was Club Detour that night we went to, and LaDonna eyeing me down. Now, I had been seeing LaDonna, but she just gave me that look like, "What's up?" And I'm like, LaDonna, she was a little older than I was, but you know, I always wanted to hump her, but I wasn't thinking about humping her this particular night. So this particular night, she tell D, and both of these girls are deceased to this day. She tell D, "I want to F him." So I was in Levi's car. We got in that car. I left everybody at the club. We got in the car. No, we drove from the Detour to Big Man. That's what it was in Louisiana. And then from there, we snuck out, jumped in the car, and drove over to the Magnolia Project. So while I had in the house, George, Money who in Angola, Boobie, Cupcake, Telly Hang, a few of them come in the room, and LaDonna let everybody hit. I had all of us had sex with LaDonna that night. She gave everybody some. Then LaBelle at the Cali was with us that night, because he was like, "I ain't getting nothing." So she turned back around, come back in the house to give some. But y'all know, guess who took over? Boobie. Watch out. He mean. You know, you had a little mean look on his face. He humped with a, yo, this stuff kick. So, yeah, we wound up having said, well, she's deceased now too. But yeah, Boo was just always one of the ones that when we did something, he wanted to take over once we got something going. But y'all know the motto. Say no to drugs, stop the violence, put these guns down. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Y'all be safe out there. The nonprofit, they need us. Instagram, they need us. Third Wall. Reach out. Show love. It's all good. Wah.